welcome to the Serious About Rugby League betting review for tonight's games. The live game is Warrington against St Helens at the HJ. Also, there's Huddersfield's trip to Hull. First of all, obviously, we've got the live game. We'll concentrate mainly on that one. It's obviously, we heard in the news this week, Sandow's out now. Could be 8 to 10 weeks. It could be a big loss that for Warrington, who's been brilliant this year. Obviously, player of the month for the last 2 months. But let's not forget Saints have been decimated as well. Like all clubs really have been, this unbelievable amount of injuries that they're all carrying at the moment. Both wingers, Swift and Makes, are out for Saints. Obviously, Lomax is long term. Will they ever come back? So they're pretty much cancelling each other out, these injuries. I'd like to see obviously Warrington is strong favourites. So the Saints have lost 3 of the last 4 games. Warrington have won all but one of their games so far. They won the top of the table clash at Wigan last week, quite convincingly really. I thought Wigan put a bit of a fist up the second half. You try some Manfredi, but I think think why we're really strong in the day. Warrington have to concede 8 points on the handicap this time round, and it's a lot to concede. But I mean, it's worth noting that I think they have in every game this season at home. They have managed to score, they have comfortably win games or more than that. I mean, admittedly, 3 of the 4 teams have played were in last season's middle 8, but they have been really strong at home. That look very, very comfortable, and like I say, the 4-11 to win the game. You think that they probably will. Like I say, Saints have lost 3 of the last 4. They're not in great form. They lost last week at home to Hull FC. They lost badly in the derby against Wigan as well. So you've got to think that maybe Warrington can cover that. Maybe something like 11 to 15 point winning margin, something like that. Saints just don't seem to be on it at the minute for me. As opposed to the 8 point handicap, I'd probably prefer the half time, full time for why that's 4 to 5. That's probably a little bit better value than the handicap if you ask me. But something like 11 to 15 point win, that's kind of where I'd see this heading. First try scorers, I mean, I like the look of Curry. He's always got tries for fun for Warrington. He's always pops up there 14 to 1. That's decent, that. And obviously, don't save maybe Turner for Saints 18 to 1. So they could be worth looking at. As for the man of the match, well, you've got Gilly at 7 to 1 and Clark at 9 to 1 for man of the match. Obviously, I think we've tipped him a couple of times this season over Chris Hill. He's about 20 to 1. He made 30 odd tackles last week. It was absolutely awesome. He was the best player on the pitch by a mile for me. He should have been given man of the match, but he wasn't. Okay, we tipped him up. Some probably could be argued that we're a little bit biased. But we had him against Salford last month, and I see no real reason to go off him, to be honest. So 20 to 1 Hill looks good for me. I mean, obviously as a saver, you've probably for Saints you've got to look to Rugby. I mean, he's going to need to start playing really well. He hasn't really done so far. I mean, I watched him in the derby against Wigan, and he looks second best to Sam Powell, to be honest. So. But if Saints are to win this game, he's going to have a big game, especially up against Darryl Clark, who seems to be finding his old Castle for form that made him man of steel. So that'd be about 11 to 1 for Roby. That'd be kind of where I'm looking. Like I say, Clark 9 to 1 man of the match. It's just not good value for me. He is playing well, but really, it's one of them bets of man of the match. It's our favourite bet. I think it's what a lot of people tune in for it to see who we're going for. But I mean, I do like Clark. It's a frustrating bet because the player you think is going to win, like I say with Hill last week, and if you didn't get the award, you get nothing for it. But every now and then you get somebody, you get a bit of a surprise. You might bet on someone you don't think they should be man of the match, and they get it. You get the bookies payout, and whoever gets awarded it. So that's fair play. But yeah, so I do think probably Hill and Roby were my 2 in this market. But that's it. I do think Warrington can win by more than 8 points, but probably just prefer the half time, full time. There's one other game tonight. Huddersfield getting only a 6 start for their trip to Hull FC. Now Hull FC have won 4 in a row. They won a 5-timer here. Won all the 3 games over Easter quite well, and to be honest with you, I think they'll win this by more than that. It's just Huddersfield they're getting a bit better. They were good at Castleford last week, and but just not for me. I think they need more than 6. I think we have to start being wary of FC. They won at Saints. They had a brilliant come from behind winning the derby. They've won at Catalan earlier in the season. I think we need really starting taking these quite seriously again now. I know the form can fluctuate. They can have a really, really bad 3 weeks and a really, really good 4 or 5 weeks. They are very inconsistent, but I probably think they should be beating Huddersfield by more than 6. Huddersfield just can't seem to buy a win at the moment. So at about 2 to 5, and again you get about 8 to 11 half time, full time. You want to boost that price up a little, but I think LFC could get the job done again today. Okay, they're without Ellis and Minicello, but I do fancy them. I mean, Huddersfield are going to have to start winning. Fair play to them because they're going to be. I mean, I pretty much see that pretty much assigned to the middle 8s already. You can't really see. They have to go on, pretty much top 3 or 4 form just to get out of the middle 8. They've got to win more than they lose now, or they're doomed to it. But obviously they've still got a lot to play for because if you finish 9th or 10th, you get the extra home game in the middle 8s. There's still plenty for everybody to play for, so I can't see anybody easing off. But like I say, I think Warrington will probably cover the handicap. Should for me cover the handicap. About 11 to 15 point win, and I fancy Hull FC on the handicap against Huddersfield. But we'll be back proper on the website next week. Obviously, I'm off on holiday this week, so I've just done this over on YouTube, but back on the website next week. See you then. Ta-ra.